2019 Audi Q8 car review. The good points of 2019 Audi Q8. Surprisingly comfortable ride, sleek and roomy interior, not goofy looking like of its silk. The bad points of 2019 Audi Q8. More money as opposed to Q7 for no more utility and just slightly more power. The Q8 is, inside the words of their maker, a fusion of any four-door luxury coupe and also a large SUV, with echoes on the Quattro. That's guaranteed to drive automotive taxonomists up a freaking wall, even people that know Quattro is the original Quattro coupe in the 1980s. But check out the Q8, the company's newest truckish thing that precedes sale from the United States in October, therefore you know exactly how it's. It can be a BMW X6 analog, a less elephant Mercedes-Benz GLE coupe, a spiritual successor towards the Acura ZDX. It is really a German car fan's Range Rover Sport. It is fashion. It is the fashion of sacrificing practicality and utility and efficiency in the interests of style. Stated plainly, it sounds just as if we hate the concept, but we don't necessarily. We like the Mercedes-Benz class coupe, that's nearly the length of any minivan but seats only 4, and that's way sillier than this Audi. Sacrificial style. There are a few sacrifices you'll make in choosing the Q8 over, say, the mechanically similar Q7. First, money. Audi hasn't yet revealed a US price for that Q8, nonetheless it surely will begin higher as opposed to $50,875 base level Q7, because it skips that model's turbocharged 2.0-liter inline 4. Instead, it will likely be powered exclusively with a 335 horsepower turbocharged 3.0-liter V6. The Q7's upgrade engine is undoubtedly an older, supercharged, 333 horsepower 3.0-liter V6. It's highly likely the Q8 sticker will exceed it with the $57,375 V6 Q7 and approach the $66,245 needed for an all-wheel drive BMW X6. If you want to invest in a more expensive version with the Audi, wait for your forthcoming SQ8. Second, you'll sacrifice seating capacity. To highlight its not unmemorable status, the Q8 only has 2 rows of seats instead from the Q7's 3. But let's face the facts, the Q7's third row isn't great shakes. The Q8 could be used by families with young kids, nonetheless it doesn't necessarily carry the potential of easing upon it. As a Q8 owner, there's a chance you're kicked out from the carpool for not driving a bus that may accommodate a complete kindergarten class. This is really a hardship we will be willing in contact. Third, you'll stop trying cargo capacity. Exact U.S. specific figures aren't available to the Q8 yet, but it really has about 10 fewer cubic feet of total cargo space compared to the Q7, or roughly 15%. That's since the Q8's roof is nearly an inch as well as a half lower and its particular overall length is 2.6 inches shorter, though it rides about the same wheelbase. Whether you would like as much cargo space as being the Q7 is usually a question. Solve these questions. Answer: the good stuff. The Q8 compensates having a scoresheet fat with positive attributes. Based within the Volkswagen Group's MLB Evo platform, the Q8 rides for a passing fancy basic aluminum-intensive structure and suspension system since the Q7 as well as the Bentley Bentayga, the Lamborghini Urus, as well as the Porsche Cayenne. Using the same platform as those high-end performers is similar to buying a somewhat more modest house within an exceptionally tawny neighborhood. An added bonus, the Audi looks immeasurably better versus the garish Lambo along with the gawky Bentley. Audi never misses an opportunity to point out how the Quattro would have been a design inspiration with the Q8. Okay. We guess. There is the way the taillights are bridged by way of a long, black heart. There is really a slight suggestion of boxy wheel flares. But that's about the maximum amount of Quattro inspiration nevertheless there is to be found within the vehicle. Instead, the Q8 possesses his own look, a unique stance. Designers widened the grille compared to your Q7 making it the headlamps squint. The relatively low roofline helps make the Q8 seem exceptionally wide, also it appears to hover over its optional 22-inch wheels. 20s and 21s can be found. The Q8 is less aesthetically adventurous than its two primary competitors, the X6 and also the GLE Coupe, but it really is more handsome by some margin, too. It looks a lot more like a sporty SUV than an oddity for the health of oddness. The same might be said with the Q8's roomy, airy interior. Even the rear seat passengers will feel almost like they have space to extend, with over ample leg and headroom. Up front, thanks in large part to your touchscreen infotainment system also seen inside the new A6, A7, and A8, the interior is just as sleek and uncluttered to be a clean room. We're not entirely convinced two screens are superior to one screen as well as a control knob, therefore we do sincerely miss the complete knobs and switches that after were the hallmark of your Audi interior. We'll need more time while using system to pass through judgment on its menu logic, but we are going to say it responds to commands quite quickly. The vehicle itself doesn't feel exceptionally quick. But one caveat. Audi held its press launch inside Atacama Desert of northern Chile, and our route took us of up to 14,000 feet of elevation with the Andes Mountains. Considering the power-robbing effect of those thin air, performance is a bit more than ample. We noted, however, a longish delay inside delivery of torque when you finally give it some beans. When driving at cloud height, plan your passes just after conception. We'll get back to you using a more definitive assessment after we drive the auto closer to sea level. We've been impressed using this turbocharged 3.0-liter V6 in the past drives of other models furnished with it. It truly is smooth, otherwise exactly sonorous with this application, too. It's bolted on the ubiquitous and excellent ZF 8-speed automatic, and all of Q8's features standard full-time all-wheel drive which has a rearward torque bias. We did only very light off-roading on our drive, though the all-wheel drive system coped well while using sandy conditions we experienced with vehicles wearing summer tires. Note, all Zezen tires are standard to the US market. Chile con car. The Q8s we drove were fitted with optional adjustable height air springs. A steel spring suspension with adjustable dampers are going to be standard. Step up towards the air springs and also you can enhance the body to get a maximum of 10 inches of ground clearance. Packaged together with the air springs is usually a rear wheel steering system. Additionally, on narrow Chilean desert roads, the broad off-beam Q8 felt unnaturally nimble. This isn't Canyon Carver, naturally, nonetheless it manages curving roads with little drama and respectable pace. We suspect the thin layer of artificiality caused by the light, feel-free steering and pivoting rear wheels won't be a concern to the majority of owners. Oddly, to get a vehicle should have been so much sportier compared to family trucks to where it's based, the Q8 rides beautifully. Even within the 22s, the Q8 is supple and not floaty. And, believe us, our route was no press drive cakewalk. We traversed an abundance of washboard gravel paths and undulating, broken pavement, as well as sport mode. The Q8 never harsh at our day. The higher performing SQ8 no doubt are going to be the choice for individuals who desire a firmer ride. As may be the case having a few other recently unveiled Audis, not all on the highest quadrille are going to be available inside the US versions. American Q8 tests won't be offered together with the quasi-automated traffic jam pilot system, while they will feature automated lane centering and adaptive cruise control. US vehicles may have LED headlights, nonetheless they won't contain the trick matrix functionality easily obtainable in Europe. The matrix system are able to turn off individual LEDs within the clusters to shape light pattern around oncoming traffic, pedestrians, plus the like. Q8s sold inside the US could have all from the necessary hardware, however, so once Audi gets clearance from regulators, it says it's going to add the application to open up that capability. Also, the Q8 is equipped which has a 48-volt hybrid system that, in other markets, allows the V6 to consider brief naps when the car is cruising. In the US it's virtually just a stop-start system. But who would like to get over-involved in details? The Q8 is supposed to be about broad strokes and type, right?